welcome back, folks. This is U.S. Home Talk. I am multitasking right now as I'm sharing the post because I wasn't quite prepared. All right, it's done. Here we go. We're back. I'm back. I wasn't here last week. Usually when Marcus or Overson are gone, which Overson's gone today, I give you guys a hard time. And so I'm hoping that you returned the favor last week, and you were giving me a lot of stuff offline or online, but I wasn't there.
You know, it was such an important topic that we just didn't have time. We just didn't have time.
You just dove right in. You just got deep. Yeah, speaking of got deep, you know what my kids say, that I learn all these new words.
Are they real words? Or?
Often I have to Google the phrases and stuff. And so Joseph and Theodore, I think Eliana too, they're 10, 12, and 13. I'll say something and they've been doing this for several months. And finally about a month ago, I had to Google what the heck it means. But I'll say something and they won't like what I said. And they'll say, oh, it's just not that deep. And finally I'm like, what are you saying? So I got to Google it. And not that big a deal is what it means, but it's they got some weird. Well, I think it's weird because I don't know what it means, but
not that big of a deal.
It's just not that deep. Okay, so this show is going to be deep. We're going to be talking about decluttering, folks. This is U.S. Home Talk. It's Wednesday, noon Central Standard Time. We do appreciate you tuning in either live or later in the week on all of our streaming platforms. Jason Walgrave here with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX. We've got the great Marcus Walgrave with Hague Realtors out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the Sioux Empire Real Estate Market. We've got Evan Little, our fantastic producer, insurance. He looks like he's in a cool place. It doesn't look like his house.
Right?
I'm in the office today.
Oh, that's cool. I like the exposed brick wall behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Brick.
Yeah, buddy. I like it.
Now, is that one falling over like that New York City building is, Evan? Looks a little
tippy.
Settled in that corner.
It does look a little tippy.
It's got character.
Exactly. Overson is off today. I think. So where was I at last week? I was soccer game. Joseph at a soccer game. I can tell you that it was hot at that soccer game. He had a noon game up at the National Sports Center in Blaine, and that was hot. Overson's down. I think he's
noon. Yeah,
it was a hot.
And a lot of that is artificial turf. So
that game wasn't, but on Friday he played at 5. It was 98 degrees. He played on turf, and it was 110 because turf is at least 10 degrees warmer, it seems. So that was very unpleasant. Overson's down at some national flag football.
Indianapolis,
right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Good luck, Mike.
NFL flag football national championships.
Dude, that's pretty sweet. So
it is sweet.
His boys are good and they're into it. Overson's a good coach.
I shot him a text message. I was like, "Hey, let us know when Tyson plays because it sounds like it's going to stream on the NFL Network."
Oh, really? NFL Network.
Yeah,
sweet.
in his email too, it was a image and looks like Disney Plus is probably going to have it. So.
Oh, I gotta find that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it should be super easy to find, and over the next couple of days too. Anybody who's got kids in flag football or want to get them in flag football, this could be a good kind of introduction to them and for them, and
it's a lot of fun.
See what it's all about. It is a lot of fun. My girls play flag football and they
it is fun.
They enjoy it.
Yeah, your girls do well. It's fun. I love seeing those videos you sent me there. They're little rockets out there.
Yeah, they got some. They're fast,
zippy, man. It's fun.
All
right, we're talking about decluttering tips to declutter your home. There's a lot of information on this. I mean, we could have probably a list of 100 different things, right? We're going to go through a few today. We're going to talk about them. I struggle with this. My kids struggle with it. My wife, having too much stuff, having too much clutter in the house, right? And so today we're going to be talking about some decluttering tips for your home. Folks, best way to get a hold of us is our website, ushometalk.com. You can connect with Marcus, myself, Mike, Evan, all of our fantastic US Home Talk partners. We've got great information on real estate, all things real estate, buying, selling, investing, financing. We've got home search tools. We've got all of our past shows on there. You can see those as well. So be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. We've got a real estate hotline number, 24-hour real estate hotline number. Connect with all of us and our fantastic partners. That number is 612-234-7585. You can text in during the show, questions or comments. You can call or text anytime to connect with us. So be sure to keep that number handy, 612-234-7585. Put the code in here, Jason. I don't even know what that means. What is we got?
Some things you're just not supposed to say out loud, Jason.
I know, but I don't know what it means. You just got a text. Oh, I just got a text. Look at that technology. Oh, see, Evan's trying to get in here. He's trying to help me out. Should I say it out loud, Evan, or should I put it in the chat? 06.
We are live. You can tell.
Just type it, he says. All right, declutter. Let's go. Let's talk about this. Number one of the first things you should do, set a goal. Set a goal. They say keep the memories, lose the stuff. Man, it is a... So I would say twice a year, we put together a donate. I was going to say donate bin. It's like a donate 12 bags is what we do.
Donate truck bed.
Donate the truck bed. A lot of clothes. We put the kids grow out of them, and then often we take those and we offer them to family and friends first, and then whatever's left over we'll bring to Goodwill or something like that. There's a lot of great services that they'll come and pick up the stuff from your driveway. But it's important to set a goal, and really, folks, setting a goal to declutter the whole house is probably going to result in you decluttering nothing. And so it's too much. So maybe the first goal is you know what, we're going to declutter the kitchen, or we're going to declutter the pantry or the office or the garage. Set a goal, start small, and work from there. I think that it can be very overwhelming very quickly with the thought of decluttering your whole house.
You mentioned that you guys do it twice a year. I think that's the goal in itself. Say we are going to declutter, donate once a year or twice a year. I think I never had in a sense, a goal set, but for me and our family, it seems to be very seasonal, right? It kind of seems like you get into spring cleanup, fall cleanup. We've kind of just fallen in that. But, if you haven't created that type of consistency with decluttering, that could be the goal. Is, hey, we are going to, in the month of August, we are going to declutter and donate. Yep. And that it's something as simple as that.
Yeah, I think that's a good time. August and maybe January, right? I mean, you got August right before school starts. Summer's coming to an end, and then you got January after Christmas, which you probably got a whole bunch of new stuff. So let's declutter some of the things that you're not using. So set a goal is one of the first tips on here.
Can you declutter a gift that you just got?
Well, I think you can re-gift it. I think you can re-gift it. Don't buy those cute storage bins yet. I mean, that's I'm guilty of that, right? You see, and Marcus, you and I, not too often, but we do see some homes that are incredibly organized. I've got a listing right now, and they're empty nesters, and they are so organized. I'm talking bins in the garage and in the storage. They're all labeled. I mean, it's really impressive.
3-ring binder to find everything.
No,
color coded.
They do. They have
Yeah.
It's like one of those portable filing case things.
Yep.
Every appliance is in there. All the instructions, all the manuals, all color labeled. I mean, I'm super impressed with these guys. But don't go out and buy all the storage bins quite yet. One of the first things that you need to do is do a little purging. So the storage bins are the things that you're going to keep, right? I think that you don't want to keep everything. That kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Purging is a part of the deal. So hold off on the storage bins until you know what it is you're going to be storing. Next on our list is get some help. Now when I first read this, I'm like, yep, putting my kids to work.
Yeah.
That's not exactly the help that they're talking about. There are professional organizers. There are companies out there that and they're organizing professionals. They will come, and I've seen some clips on this. Super cool, right? I mean, this is what they do. They're professionals, whether it's organizing the drawers or the closets or the pantry or whatever the case is. They can be very, very helpful. You're going to spend somewhere between $60 and $200 an hour to hire a organizing professional, but maybe you want to start with getting the neighbor kids or getting some help or getting some high school kids to help out with the garage and the decluttering. You're going to spend $15-$20 an hour, and that can be helpful, and it can also keep you on task. I think that when you hire somebody to help you with the job, I think that you're more likely to complete the job, because it's like, yeah, you're hiring them,
That's
but they're
fair,
they're kind of holding you accountable to finish the work, right? So don't be afraid to get some help and maybe hire somebody, or maybe somebody owes you some favors, right? And you can have them come help you out.
I like that too.
I mean, our kids are, here's the deal. They want money, they got to go work. I mean, for the most part, right? And so we got lots of jobs, mowing and cleaning, and I mean, they do organizing and stuff, and so if you've got kids, that might be your first stop for help. Next on our list, categorize. I think this is a really good one, right? I mean, it's again, if you're starting with one area, maybe it's the entry or the mudroom closet. You're going to start with that. You're going to take out the things that you don't need or that you don't want or you don't use, and then categorizing things. So putting them in category. Maybe you've got a bin with kids' toys, or you've got another bin with manuals, for all the different things that you have, or you've got a tool bin, or you've got a duct tape bin, because you're never going to have too much duct tape, right? But I think this is a good one. Categorize. It helps you not only helps you declutter, but become organized in the process.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key parts of decluttering and reorganizing is to be more efficient as well. I mean, I can't tell you how many times where if you do put something in a tote or a storage and you don't label it, I mean, it just, again, seasonal comes around and it's like, hey, where is this? Can't find it. We must have thrown it away. And then next thing you know, you might run over to the store and buy another inflatable pool, and it gets home and you're like, we got 5 of them. So
Exactly.
so it's something as simple as that can make it a lot more time efficient and also save you money.
Next on our list, and folks, actually, let's do a legal minute. We'll do a couple more. Folks, be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. Best way to get a hold of us anytime. Watch and listen to our past shows. We've also got our real estate hotline number, which Evan is rolling along the bottom, 612-234-7585. The real estate hotline number is 612-234-7585. Next on our list, we kind of touched on this already. Start small. Okay. I mean, I already know what comes to my mind is start small, which is kind of big. Is we got 2 junk drawers. So there's one in the mudroom. It's a top drawer, kind of where you put your keys and your wallet and stuff. And then there's one in the kitchen. And these 2 drawers, I don't even know
I
what's in
hate
there.
the junk drawer, man.
I mean, I'm
It's
digging
probably
through
my
it.
most
Oh, I hear you. I'm
annoying
always digging through a
thing in a
thing.
house.
I dig through it, and whenever I'm digging through it because I'm looking for something, all I'm thinking about is 80% of the stuff in that drawer I don't need, I'll probably never use, and why do I got to go through it to find the one thing that I'm looking for?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's called junk. You're
It's
supposed
called-
to throw
it's
junk
called the
away.
junk
Like,
drawer.
why are we
Yes.
collecting the junk? Like, that's... I don't like
We
the
got
junk drawer.
chargers. My goodness, Marcus, we got chargers from 1985. You know,
Yeah,
that
I
I
mean,
have
you
no
gotta keep
idea what
those.
I don't even know what it plugs into. You know,
Yeah,
So- but start small. Start small. You know, have a
you only have
plan.
2 junk drawers
Yes, two
in the whole house.
Well, the garage. I mean, I have one in the garage too, but that's more
Mm.
like a tool drawer. Even though half
Sure.
of it is not tools.
More junk.
More junk. More junk.
I mean, I know of at least 4 drawers in my house that there's virtually nothing in there that's of value or use.
Or use that you'll ever use.
Yeah.
But you might. You never know. You never know. That's what we think, right? We're going to do one more, and then we're going to go to Jeff O'Brien's Legal Minute. So after start small, here's interesting. The next one's interesting. Beware the purger high. What does that mean? Liberating yourself from clutter can feel so good that some people get into a tossing frenzy.
Yeah,
Throw it all
I
away.
see that too. Oh my goodness.
Tossing it, right?
Yeah.
I think of, it reminds me of a story, Marcus, when we were younger, and Grandma Lucy, she was, they had been on the farm for, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years, a long time, a long time.
Yeah, long time.
And she was, she did an excellent job canning, and there was, in the basement at the farm there's quite a bit of stuff in there. So she, and this is a long time ago, but I do recall it. So she was going away for a few days, and our aunts and uncles, so her kids, they went in and they did a purge on the basement, on Grandma Lucy's farmhouse basement, and it was a lot of stuff. I mean, we're talking, I don't know it was a full size dumpster load, but it was at least 3-4 truckloads. She came back, didn't even notice.
Yes.
Didn't even. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I
Vaguely.
remember the clean out because I
And-
remember going down there and it was full enough where you couldn't really snoop around as a young kid that I was,
Yes.
and but then once it was cleared out, you're like, whoa,
Wow,
this is actually a pretty
This is actually some
spacious
space
storage
down
area.
here. But I just remember finding that so fascinating that 3 or 4 truckloads worth of stuff, and she didn't even notice. And she was older, but she wasn't like super old where where her mind wasn't there. It was just that's how much stuff was there. So
And on the opposite spectrum of this, Jason, and if you're a parent out there that have kiddos, I find it hard to, my 4-year-old comes home and has a nice coloring job and super proud of it. She is, and she shows me and, give her a quick high five. And then that's like, okay, this one's got to go. But I don't like throwing them away.
no,
And so it's one of those deals where like, even with the kids, if you're kind of in that same position where you're like, man, they were really proud of it, I don't want to throw it away. You can throw it away just as long as they don't see it in the garbage can.
yeah, exactly.
And then they don't know that you threw it away. They won't realize you did. But you can't like set it on the top to
No.
where when they go, throw away the apple core, they see their
Stuff it in
and
there
then and then
put
now it's
something
okay.
over
Now
it.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
As a parent and your child's very upset about it, but.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble.
Parents, you guys can throw your kids throw stuff away. It's okay. Just maybe put a paper towel on top so they don't see what you threw away.
Yeah,
They'll never miss it.
having my parent framed all of it. They framed all of it.
There's only a couple pieces, so
Well, there you go. There you go. All right, let's do Jeff O'Brien's Legal Minute. We'll come up and finish with a few more.
This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. Minnesota is known as a land of 10,000 lakes, but who owns the beds under those lakes? The ownership of soil under most of the bodies of water in Minnesota is determined by whether the particular body of water was navigable on May 11, 1858, the date of Minnesota's admission to the Union. If the stream or lake is navigable, then the bed or the water course is owned by the state of Minnesota, and the question of whether a stream or lake is navigable is determined under federal law. The U.S. Supreme Court determined in State versus Adams that under federal law, streams are navigable if they are used or are susceptible for use in the ordinary condition as highways for commerce, and the ordinary natural conditions refer to the volume of water, the gradients, and regularity of flow. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
That was a good legal minute.
I like that one a lot.
I
like that one
pretty
a lot.
fascinating.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't realize that. That's some pretty cool history.
Yeah, so what do you say, 1858 when the state was formed? It's kind of a topic in our state, South Dakota, and mostly because up in the northeast corner, they're glacier lakes. And if you're not familiar with what a glacier lake is wasn't really a lake during drought areas. It's more of a slough. But then when we have these, back-to-back decades of high precipitation and snowfall, well, these sloughs, they fill up. They don't have inlets. They don't have outlets. So they just collect. They're like a bowl. And we're talking not just hundreds, but thousands and thousands of farmland is flooded. And now are these, incredible fisheries. However, it wasn't more than 50 years ago the farmers were farming that land because it was dry and they had crops on it. Now it's underwater. So, the fishermen, they launch at the state access and, they fish where they can. The boat floats, right? You don't own the water.
Right.
So they drive around and fish it. But there was some properties that were like, hey, they fought it and they were able to keep the public off of them. And so definitely interesting. Yeah, the northeast corner, Wabae is a glacier lake. So it has like its original lake shoreline, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it. But I mean, it's significantly larger today than it was in the 80s.
Wow.
So thousands of acres of farmland are flooded in that area, and so it's hot topic.
Hot topic indeed.
And that's Devil's Lake too in North Dakota.
Oh, really?
Devil's Lake. Yeah, that's a same thing. It's like, I think Devil's Lake gets to like 40 some feet, and it should be like 10.
Wow.
From way back in the day. So there's tens of thousands of acres of farmland underwater in the Devil's Lake area.
And when you're saying way back in the day, you're talking about 50, 60 years ago. So not that long ago.
Yeah, like I think I'm trying to remember here. There was a drought in like the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
So that's kind of like where these old lake beds that were maybe just sloughs, had been sloughs for a long time. Kind of give you an example, in South Dakota, our largest lake is Lake Thompson. Okay. Well, the Native Americans, they call that what is it? They call it a prairie lake because it was just grass. It was like wetland grass. Huh. And now Lake Thompson's 30 feet deep in the deepest hole.
Wow.
So and you can go on Google. If on a desktop, you can download Google Earth and go and look at historical imagery and go back into like the 70s and 80s and see these what are now huge lakes that they were these little grass ponds. So it's interesting.
Super cool. Don't expect a windfall of cash when you sell some of these items. So I think often we think some of our personal items are worth more than what they are. If you're talking about, selling stuff, you're probably going to get between 20 and 30% of what you paid for it. And that's furniture, clothes. I mean items that have any value at all. So although it might be, you might get excited thinking you're going to make all this cash by decluttering, and but if it's an antique, well, that's a great point, Evan. Well, then you could be doing well on the antique part of it, but for the most part, things are, they're really not worth that much any longer if it's been used. So, Next on this list is leave a legacy of love. What does that mean? You don't want to leave your friends and family with a house full of crap and a bunch of work.
That's harsh.
That is
That's
harsh. You want to leave a legacy of love. So what is that talking about? This is kind of fascinating to me because Marcus, you and I, we go into a lot of different houses, and and sometimes homes that folks have been there for many, many decades. And it is what I have always found very interesting, being in real estate, is that, and this happens often. You've got folks that pass away. They've been in their home a long time, many decades, and their kids, maybe they have some offspring. They've got 2, 3, 4, whatever kids, and the kids will come in, and almost everything in the house is junk to them, and so I've always found it, and yes, my offspring, I've always found it fascinating that people will spend their entire lives collecting stuff, right? Things. And maybe it has value to them, or maybe they never decluttered, right? But most of that stuff, guys, is there's zero value to it, even to your kids. Now, if you can declutter and you can, you can get out and you can organize, well, now the things that you've kept, I think, have greater value to your kids or to your grandkids or to whoever you're leaving the stuff to, because then people will look at it and they're not looking at a whole house full of stuff, but they're looking at some things that you kept, and to them I think it's going to mean, well, that was important to that person because they kept it. If you got game cards, yeah, keep the game cards. I mean, definitely, right?
Goodness.
So that's another way to look at it is if you're able to declutter and organize and and get rid of all these things that you don't really need, the things that you do leave behind will likely have more value to the people that you're leaving to.
Obviously, generational thing, right, Jason? I mean, when we talk about these situations, they are likely pertaining to the silent generation. Mm-hmm. Our parents being the generation of the baby boomers. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 30 years down the road and people aren't really going to be experiencing the same. Right. The silent generation was, if you were able to have any kind of extra or surplus of goods or materialistic things, it gets kept. And there's no such thing as throwing anything away. But I think you start seeing like the baby boomers. I mean, I can't imagine there are going to be too many baby boomers who are going to have a house full. It's not going to be like what it was, where it was like almost across the board. Yep. Silent generation passes, and their house is going to be full to the brim. Yeah, of original stuff. Yeah. Where like, I think that might be what we see in the future. I think you're right. Yep. I think you're right. I mean, I think about all the things that I remember, talking to Dad growing up, and I don't know how this conversation came up a few times, but I was like, hey, Dad, if the house is burning down, what would you grab? And, he's always like, oh, family photos. I'd grab the photos. And, the one thing. That was really, he's like, everything else you can replace. And even in today's world, majority of the family photos are all digital, and they're probably on a cloud or a storage device or whatever anyway. So, it is, and I think that goes back to the previous one. If you're able to declutter, then the things that you keep, they mean something more to you, and they're probably going to mean something more to the people that you're leaving them to. So, do not create, this is a good one. Do not create a maybe pile. There's no maybe piles. Okay, maybe. It's either I'm keeping it or I'm getting rid of it. No maybe piles, because the maybe piles are definitely going to be kept. And so. And if you do make a maybe pile, you have to make the decision at the end of the day whether it's going to be a keeper or a goer. You can't can't keep if this is going to be a maybe. It only gets one day. It's a one day pile. At the end of the day, you got to decide stay or go. Stay or go. Yeah. So no maybe piles, and look, if you're going to declutter, don't plan on getting a storage unit to simply move it from your house to the storage unit, because that happens. That happens. I kind of joke, and when I'm
helping sellers out, and they're talking about decluttering, getting their house ready for sale, and and they say, we got so much stuff, and I always say, look, my personal rule is if I haven't used it in 10 years, I don't need it. So if it's in that same box when I moved into this house 10 years ago, I don't need it. I haven't opened the box.
You're getting close to that with your home currently, aren't you?
Yeah, 11 years you've been
10,
there.
12? Huh?
12 years. No, this will be
12?
12 years you've been there. Yep.
Yeah,
Almost.
so if you have an unopened box in your house, Jason, you can toss it.
Well, now in the last few years, my kids are going through all that stuff, and because they think it's cool. They're like, "Oh, look at the stuff Dad had from college," and I got to make sure I don't have anything inappropriate in there. So,
No, of course not.
Never. All right, last on our list, folks. We've been talking about decluttering. Last on our list, and be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. Last on the list, and this is appropriate: avoid recluttering. Set up ongoing systems. Labeling things,
sure.
bins, shelves. My wife does a really good job at organizing. She's organized our pantry countless times, and of course it doesn't stay organized because
Right.
blaming it on the kids for sure.
Yep.
I probably didn't have anything to do with it, but that's you want to avoid that, right? You're decluttering to become more organized, get rid of stuff you don't need, avoid the recluttering. I think with a plan, Marcus, we talked about in the beginning of the show, having that goal, and maybe it's just, hey, look, twice a year we're gonna do a declutter, and we're gonna do a purge, and we're gonna do a sell and give away bags, and then if you can do that a couple times a year, folks, you're going to stay on top of it. Yeah. You really are. If you don't, a year becomes 3, becomes 5, becomes 10, and it's like you just got piles of stuff you don't need. So
It kind of goes back to the original one, create a goal.
yeah,
And maybe that's what it is. Just hey, we are going to come up with a plan on how to declutter and stay decluttered throughout the year, and this is all achievable. It doesn't need to happen today or this weekend. You guys can just start sitting down and brainstorming some ideas on how to do it, and when you do declutter, it feels good.
it does feel good.
It feels good.
I love bringing bags to the Goodwill and going through their drive-through thing and getting out and throwing all the bags in their bins and driveway. I'm like, that feels good.
I got one. It's not on your list. This is a personal one.
Okay.
That I just came up with here, probably in the last half a year, and it goes to the totes. You can get one of the very large totes, the ones that if it's full you can't lift it up without some help.
Yeah.
It's like a 3x2x2, big one. We just leave that one in the garage with the lid off, and it is the collector of things that we can donate or give out to families or needs. So once it's full, there it goes. And then it's empty and it just sits there. Just one tote sits there, and whether it's a shirt or clothes or whatever it might be, a toy, it just sits in the garage. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's just one tote, and once it's full,
great.
it goes.
I love that. That's really good. My last tip I'm gonna throw out there, when you do the totes and the bins, along with labeling them, which is very important, buy the clear ones. Buy the clear ones, because then you don't have to take out the tote, open the tote, and dig through it. You can actually see in there. So that's my contribution to the list today.
Love it.
Folks, we appreciate you tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you again next Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. Be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. Connect direct with Marcus, myself, Mike Overson, Evan Little, all of our fantastic partners. Hope you have a fantastic week. Be sure to remember our hotline number, which is 612-234-7585. We'll see you guys soon.